Michael Pryor. This section is on global technology, and this falls under the external analysis section of the strategic development model. So global trends. Over the last decade, global flows of goods, services, finance, people and data have contributed at least 10% of the world's GDP, adding $7.8 trillion in 2014 alone. Perhaps the most striking is the fact that data flows already accounted for $2.8 trillion of this value, exerting a larger economic impact than the global trade in physical goods. So globalization hasn't gone into reverse, it's actually gone digital. Cross-border data flows have grown by a factor of 45 over the past decade, and they're projected to post another 9-fold increase by 2020. So new organizational structures. You have multinationals once expanded by building a replica of their entire firm in each country where they operated. The result was often a global organization bogged down with redundancy, additional costs, and a fragmented corporate culture. However, digital technologies now allow companies to globalize in a leaner and less capital-intensive way. By creating virtual teams that collaborate remotely, companies can expand into new markets without losing agility. Firms now have greater flexibility to hire specialized talent and follow pockets of demand growth wherever they find them. Human resources can use self-service digital platforms and intranets to provide consistency on overarching issues, while regional managers control decisions such as hiring. One option is to establish global hubs for some backbone operations in combination with smaller sales and marketing teams around the world. Companies that deliver digital goods and services can go even further, entering new international markets without establishing a physical presence at all. So how global value chains are evolving. Companies have an opportunity to redraw supply chains and customer channels as digital globalization redraws industry value chains. Massive global platforms open up new possibilities for procurement, allowing a manufacturer to find the best deal on components from a small supplier in any other country around the world. For the biggest multinationals, digital tools can orchestrate a multitude of vendors stretching around the globe. These systems synthesize information from sensors, actuators, GPS tracking, and other sources into dynamic models to help work around bottlenecks. Some companies are emphasizing speed to market and are moving away from the complexity of long global supply chains altogether. And 3D printing will change the very definition of what constitutes an intermediate product. Some companies that sell into a range of global markets have deep product portfolios with tailored offerings that appeal to local consumer preferences and are sensitive to their price points. Digital tools can provide the kind of granular market insights needed to make this approach successful and manage the resulting operational complexity. Many companies, particularly in technology, take a one world, one product approach. Apple offers 3 models of iPhone and iPad, all with consistent design and branding, no matter where they're sold. Google has search, mapping, email products that are not designed with any particular set of regional customers in mind. You also have Facebook, Uber, Airbnb, and various e-commerce marketplaces who have simply scaled up their digital platforms in country after country with limited customization. Go big. This is now the era of global product launches, and Hollywood is at the forefront. In 2015, Star Wars: The Force Awakens launched in 80 countries during its first week. More than half of its record-breaking debut weekend box office came from overseas and the global marketplace. The information transparency offered by the internet also means that consumers around the world can see reviews immediately. There is no longer an opportunity to tweak or remarket the product. If a movie bombs in one place, it will do a global bomb everywhere. This kind of strategy increasingly applies beyond the multiplex. Companies in media, fashion, trend-driven consumer industries are willing to bet big because the flip side of risk is the ultimate prize, the chance for products to go viral on a global stage. The new competitive landscape is growing more unpredictable as digital platforms such as Amazon, Alibaba and eBay are empowering companies of any size from anywhere on earth to roll out products quickly and deliver them to new markets. The internet is ramping up pricing pressures, shortening product cycles, and creating a more global labor market in which companies have to compete for scarce technical and managerial talent. A final thought: the battle for market share increasingly boils down to which company has the most sophisticated digital assets and capabilities. These digital leaders are using technology to capture global economies of scale and spot international market opportunities before anyone else. So your question for this section is, what are your organization's digital assets? And how can you use these to leverage value for your organization?